Hi everyone. This is another vinyl update video. I haven't done one in a little while. I think about 2 months maybe. And so in that time I've been a bit sort of busy, I suppose, with doing my website, trying to sort of regularly post stuff up, which it hasn't been as consistent this week because I've had other things going on. But hopefully next week will be a bit better, fingers crossed. So yeah, I've got a pile of records here from the past couple of months, the latest editions, but I've been buying a lot of CDs. This one has been the best, which is the Complete Stax Folk Singles Volume 2. I've already got Volume 1 on individual CDs, which I bought when they were on offer. Really brilliant. I've been listening to Respect Yourself, which is the book. I don't know who wrote it, but it's a book about the history of Stax. And currently I'm at the part where they where sort of Stax falls apart. I think it's written by Robert Gordon. Brilliant book. And I was reading it, I was thinking, well, why haven't they adapted it? You know, I can imagine Martin Scorsese doing a really good job with it. You know, it like Martin Scorsese's fancy direction, because there's a lot of sort of really sort of shifty. I mean, the whole sort of music industry in that period in the 60s and 70s was very shifty, and there's one bit where they had they ended up towards the end, they ended up getting this thug in, this more or less a hired thug to chase up money, and there's a bit where he threatens Isaac Hayes, who was at the time the biggest hitmaker in Stax, and instead of getting fired for trying to kill the label's biggest star, he ends up getting promoted. But at the end of it, you know, they end up getting completely shafted by CBS, who sort of forced them out of business. Okay, so on to the vinyl. First up, I have D'Angelo's new album. What is it? Black Messiah. Sorry, it was a million miles away there then. Yeah, brilliant album. I mean, the first 4 songs on there are just amazing. The rest of the album, yeah, is a bit patchier, but it's still a brilliant record, even if it doesn't quite deserve all the hype that all the critics have been pouring upon it. And there's... So I've got 2 X records. Which that one's their 4th album, More Fun in a New World, which is one of their better albums. And the live album, X Live at the Whiskey Go Go on the Fabulous Sunset Strip. The first Flying Burrito Brothers album, this sort of fills a gap in my Graham Parsons vinyl collection. I have his first 2 solo albums, and also after the second Flying Burrito Brothers album. This one is probably the best one. Unfortunately, the pressing, I think, has got a couple of defects in on Hot Burrito 2, which is the best song on the album, it pops. The Comsat Angels, which I know is a big favourite of Derek Higgins. I know he posts a lot of their stuff up, and this album is brilliant. I mean, it's somewhere between the sort of more darker stuff like Joy Division and Public Image, and the more sort of lighter synth pop that was coming around. Yeah, fits neatly in between. Not too dark, but not dark enough to be that post-punky. Really like it. Lonely in Blue. this one was a bit of disappointment. You'd think a 28-minute album spread over 4 sides at 45 RPM would sound amazing, but the frustrating thing is this has really bad sibilance. But I'm not too bothered really. You know, this album isn't exactly easy to find or vinyl in good shape, and you know, yeah, I got it for £15, including postage and packaging. It usually goes for twice that. Yeah, and it's an okay record, but it's an album that was made before people really give a toss about albums as a whole. So next up, got Angel Dust, which it's a record I like, but it's not my favourite Faith No More album. But it filled in a hole. You know, I've had this on CD for a few years, but I want to get on vinyl. You know, I've got all the other Mike Patton era albums, Album of the Year, King for a Day, and The Real Thing on vinyl. And yeah, it's a good album. And Richard Thompson, Rumour and Sigh. This is a really classic album. The production on it's really dated. I mean, the bloke who done it was Susan Vega's then husband, Mitchell. Is it Mitchell? Trying to find it. Mitchell Froome. Yeah, but aside from the production, the songs on there, it's just brilliant song after brilliant song after brilliant song. I just love this album. And last but certainly not least, Pearls Before Swine, The Use of Ashes. This is actually a Dutch pressing, and well, yeah, it is a Dutch pressing, which is quite fitting because on the back it says this album is dedicated to the Netherlands, where most of the songs were written. I mean, Pearls Before Swine, they're originally from Florida. They were signed to the same label as the Thugs. In some ways they were influenced by the Thugs, but they sounded a lot different. Their music was a lot more sort of psychedelic. And this one, they started adding lots of sort of baroque touches. It does sound a bit like Odessa era Bee Gees or the Left Bank. But I mean, Tom Rath, the lead singer and main songwriter, in fact he was the only consistent member of the group, he is such an underrated songwriter, brilliant lyricist, and I mean these songs are so well crafted. He is a lyricist. He's not sort of verbose and wordy as the Dylans of this world. He's very sort of economical with his words. They don't try and sound too poetic, but they are, if you get what I mean. Highly recommended album. And that's about it. But one last thing I had to mention. I just about remembered that I actually bought this album. The new Kendrick Lamar album. Yeah, I've got to say a few words about this. This was disappointing. I'm sorry. This is getting the same sort of critical praise that that Black Messiah got the tail end of last year. This is another Rush released album. I was so disappointed with this, and I think the problem is you know, Kendrick Lamar is a very talented guy. I won't deny that. I mean, there's some bits on here where he does some really good storytelling moments. How much a dollar costs, where he's talking with the sort of homeless man, a hobo who actually is God, and stuff like that. He's very talented, but at the same time he's very indulgent. He's very sort of pretentious, and there's the last track where he's sort of cutting in between sort of he's taking these snippets from a Tupac interview, and it just sounds so wrong. It just sounds so indulgent, but people think the sun shines out of his arse. Nah, I'm hoping his next album is going to be better because you know I do have a lot of faith in his talent. You know, and I mean his last album, Good Kid, Mad City, was an absolute riot from start to finish. It was an amazing record. It was amazing. It deserved all the praise. It's one of those albums that actually did live up to the hype. So I thought I'd say a few words about that. But that's about all I got to show. I could show all those Northern Soul CDs, but I decided to pack them away. But yeah, I hope to make more videos. I think this might be the only time when I'm going to spend 2 months not doing any videos. But until next time then, goodbye.